Hello, hello, and welcome back to another episode of Overpowering Emotions, where I talk all things big emotions, emotion regulation. Today's episode is a little extra special because Valentine is coming up this week. Whether or not you celebrate it, it doesn't matter. It's a great time to talk about relationships, and that's really what I want to talk about today and how we can build those connections, really meaningful connections that are rooted in kindness and compassion and understanding. The understanding piece, especially for our kids, is really important. And teaching kids how to understand and express love is really important too, to really truly connect. So to feel that love and to also give it. But the basics, when we're looking at, the foundations of relationships, kindness and compassion are sort of the foundations for that connection. The kindness really helps us feel valued, where we feel, seen, thought of, loved. It's not about big grand gestures, it's those little everyday things. I love using the example of a mosaic. If you know those mosaic pictures where there's a gazillion little pictures that make up the one big picture, it's all those tiny little interactions that make up that child over time, right? So all of those little things, how are those little interactions every day? It could be a little smile, a little, a listening ear, just to be there, to give them that space. It could be a compliment, it could be a smiley face, right? It's just those little things, those little seeds that really build that trust and intimacy and connection over time. Now, compassion is the other piece that allows us to support one another when things get tough and to celebrate during good times too. It's being able to see the world from somebody else's perspective and be present for them, even when it's really hard, without trying to make them feel better. It's creating that space. It could just be taking a moment to pause and really listen. When your kid comes home excited or upset about their day, just stopping whatever you're doing and giving your full attention, right? Rather than jumping in or saying, hold on a sec, or, texting as you're trying to listen, like just giving that full space and then validating their feelings, right? Showing them they're not alone, that you're there. It's just those little simple things that make all the difference in the world. So building those are really, important for the foundation. Now, I love talking about love languages. If you haven't heard me talk about them before, it really just helps us understand how people give and receive love, right? And how they want to receive love. These are really, if I can remember them, words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, and physical touch. We can usually figure these out for our kids because they will usually give what they want to receive, right? But how do our kids like receiving love so that they actually feel loved? We need to figure that out for our kids and other people who are important to us, right? So again, kids will often show love in ways that are aligning with their own love language. So for a kiddo whose love language is quality time, they might not feel loved if you say, I love you, right? They'd probably feel loved if you were sitting together playing a board game or having that one-on-one conversation. So it's really important to understand how they feel loved. So how do you figure that out, right? Whether it's your kids or somebody else. Observe their behavior, right? When do they light up? Is it when you verbally praise them, right? So then they might like those words of affirmation. Do they constantly want to cuddle? Their love language, that might be the physical touch. Just ask them, right? Or even in classrooms, I often have teachers do an acknowledgement assessment. And so it's really just kiddos can kind of fill out this questionnaire about how they like to receive acknowledgement. So do you want that sticker? Do you want the whole class to celebrate? Do you want a little, reward? Right? So we can ask them how they want to be praised and acknowledged for things that they do. And you can kind of do the same sort of thing. I'll actually put that assessment that I give teachers into the show notes for you, and you can adapt it however you'd like. But once you know their love language, then we can focus on filling their love tank in ways that are meaningful for them. It's those small little daily acts. It doesn't have to be a big gift all the time, right? Even if their love language is a gift. There's lots of little ways that we can do that. But we can use that to teach kids how to show their love as well. It always starts with us for sure. So we're modeling love in various ways. And even if you're a teacher, it's modeling love in a different kind of love, right? With our students. But we want to make sure we're modeling that in lots of different ways so that kids can learn to express it too. So we want to practice variety. So even if your child does prefer one love language, we can explore all five of them so that they can really understand and express what that looks like, how to express the love to other people. We want to talk about it too. If they're younger, you can use really simple language to explain the love languages. Maybe you're saying, uh, when you cuddle me, I feel loved. How do you feel loved? Right? We can ask in really simple terms like that. Practice nurturing those relationships. That's so important. Planting those seeds. I always talk about gratitude, but really adding gratitude in there is really important too, to really, just take the time every day, acknowledge what do you appreciate about each other, right? Try say something and be very specific. I loved how you helped me with dinner today. It meant a lot to me. I like spending time with you. And then you can add a bonus too. It went way quicker than when I'm doing it by myself. So now we get to time, we have time to go play a game. You can pick, right? We can add that little bonus. That gratitude just creates that atmosphere of positivity. Kids are knowing we're giving attention to the things we want them to do more of. It's building mutual respect and connection at the end of the day. That's what we're looking for. The best way to model that you care really is through that active listening. That's so important. Showing them that they are the most important thing by putting down your phone, making eye contact, truly hearing what the person is saying. I just think when we're angry at people, when we're angry at our kids, we give them our full attention, full eyes. We put down our phone. We might have our phone, but we are not looking at it. We are passionate and we are giving them our full attention. We need to do that with love. We need to not give so much attention when we're angry and give all of our attention in these love. But we really want to make sure we're validating. Ah, man, you're frustrated because Susie kicked over your Lego, right? I like adjective. Dude, that sucks. That really sucks that she did that, right? Sucks is the adjective. We want to make sure that they're feeling heard. That's all you need to do. You don't need to fix it. You don't need to, it's okay. We're going to rebuild it. You don't need to do that. We just need them feeling heard. That's the ultimate piece of knowing that I'm important and that I'm loved. I love creating rituals, building love habits into your daily life. It could be a family gratitude jar, it could be a weekly game night, it could be bedtime hugs and check-ins and those types of things. With my girls, if you haven't heard me talk about it, we do have a monthly date night. So my younger was born on the 1st and my other daughter was born on the 14th. So the 1st of every month and the 14th of every month, we're taking them out. My husband and I take them out for date night. And so we can do whatever they want. Oftentimes we're just staying home. It's a date in rather than a date out. But we really it's that time to focus all of our attention on them. Now, no one's perfect. Conflicts happen. And so this is another way that we can show love. It really matters in how we repair that conflict afterward. I myself, even just recently, I wasn't doing well. I had a very bad day. And I was kind of snippy to my daughter, and she wanted to go out. And we went to the mall, and I was still kind of snippy. And I'm like, what am I doing? And just in the middle of the mall, I'm just like, kid, I am so sorry. I did have a bad afternoon, but that does not mean that I need to be a jerk. I am so sorry. And she hugged me in the middle of the mall, right? It's okay, mom. I knew something was up. But apologize and take responsibility. We're modeling that for them and acknowledging we're human too. We have these feelings, and sometimes we're responding in ways we don't want, but it's all about how you're repairing that afterwards and working together to move forward. Now, if every day you're apologizing and apologizing, maybe you need to switch things around in your own emotion regulation so you're not always snapping and yelling and then having to apologize. That's a problem too. And then they're just not it's not going to mean that much to them. But we do want to make sure we're repairing whenever we do have conflict and helping kids understand other people's perspective too, right? If a sibling is upset, maybe we can say, how do you think they're feeling? What do you think happened? What can we do to help them? Not when they're in the middle of a sibling rivalry. Don't do that because then they're not going to feel loved. Right. But if we can see, oh, your sister came home. I wonder what happened today. I wonder what's going on for her. What do you think we can do? We want to model that ourselves too. Man, I just got off the phone with my friend. She sounded really upset. You know what? I'm going to go make some cookies and I'm going to take it over to her with some fluffy socks. I don't know, something like that. We're going to model that, just knowing that we're recognizing how other people are feeling and that we're going to show that compassion for them. One of my favorite things to do in the therapy room and homework that I give families to do as well is to have a shower of love. So one person sits in a chair, like in the middle, and then the other person or family members walk around. You set an alarm for 2 minutes and they walk around that person in the middle and just say all the things that they love about that person, why they appreciate them, right? Sitting is nice because it is awkward. If we were to sit side by side isn't terrible, but across from each other, it just gets really awkward, right? And so someone in the middle, they can close their eyes, they can watch the person walking around, but the person walking around has that time to process and think. It's just a really nice way that, the person in the middle is taking in all of this love or, bits and pieces of it as well. But doing those types of things are really important just to know, you know, that we are loved and we are cared for. You could do a compliment circle too. If it is in a classroom or you've got a larger group, sit in a circle and have each person say something that they appreciate to the person to their left or to the right. You could do that at family dinner as well, right? That works wonders. We're showing gratitude and appreciation. It's building self-esteem, it's building that connection, and it can be done anytime, anywhere. So those types of things, it takes not even 30 seconds that you can implement. You could do random acts of kindness or a love jar where, the love jar, I would have everyone pick a different colored paper or a post-it note. So one person is yellow, one person is blue, green, whatever. And then write down simple acts of kindness or things that they would love to receive from others to know that they feel loved. It could be something like make my bed, right? That's a kiddo who enjoys service. It could be leave me a thank you note at lunch. It could be pick me up from school, whatever that is. And then I encourage families to pick one out of the jar every week, right? Complete something. You can know, okay, Johnny is pink and Susie is green, so I'm gonna pick one green and one pink every day or every week, and I'm gonna, fulfill that. And then siblings can do that for each other. Or you can do random acts of kindness too, just to strangers, and complete it as a family. And we're going to go out into the community and we're going to do these things. So there's lots of different ways that we can show this, right? Have a love language day where you dedicate practicing for each family member their love language. So if someone's love language is physical touch, maybe for that day, everyone's focusing on extra hugs and back rubs or something like that. I don't know. You could have a family or a classroom gratitude board where everyone writes something down that they're thankful for each day and reflect on it weekly or at dinner. I'm always talking about the thing that you're grateful for. You could do regular gratitude letters where you write a letter to someone with specific reasons why you're grateful for them, maybe every week or every month, right? There's lots of things that you can choose from, but it's about being intentional, picking something, start doing it, make it a habit, make it a ritual. And if you keep that going, you will start seeing major shifts in your relationships, I bet even in mood and outlook. So I think that that's really important. I just wanted to capitalize. It's not just a one day thing where we're going to show love. This is just the starting point, a jumping off board, so to speak. Because when kids are feeling connected and loved, that's building their resilience. That's building their emotion regulation, right? Having that support network, we are already stronger. So I will wrap up. Lots to think about. I will put all of this, homework ideas in the show notes for you, but I want to leave at least one piece of homework just to get started. And that's really to take the time to figure out what kids' love languages are, or if you're a teacher in the classroom, figuring out how kids like to be acknowledged. Spend this week observing how do they show love? When do they light up when they're receiving that acknowledgement? And then discuss their love languages or do that assessment or, just brainstorm ways to fill their love tank. And if they don't know, there's a good chance they're going to say, I have no idea. Well, let's pay attention. How do you like receiving feedback? How do you like, the different things? We're going to experiment. And you can say, yeah, I like that. No way, Jose, I don't like it at all. So that's it for today. Whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, I hope you enjoy this week. I hope you enjoy connecting. If you feel inspired to create more love and kindness in your relationships, definitely share this with others. If you try any strategies. I'd actually love to hear, or any other tips that you'd love to share with others. I'd love to hear from you. I can pass that on. Make sure you subscribe if you don't already. Again, share it with someone who needs a little extra love and kindness. And until next time, help those kiddos be bold and courageous. Keep fostering those love connections, and happy Valentine's Day.